You know, the beautiful thing about the Caribbean islands is tener instrumentos like this that hail from Afro-Cuban beats, say it be the congas, los timbales, or the djembes. Ladies and gentlemen, it is an SOS. Cuba, libertad, libertad. Kick it. Hola, ¿qué tal, mi gente? It is Fuel Pasión Friday, and it's always an honor aquí con la cultura, here with faith, y como siempre las conexiones. But more than importantly, I always have to introduce myself, just in case this is your first time watching. My name is Noan El Boricua, and I'm honored that you can join us and watching this video. And here's the thing, for all of our amigos, amigas, maybe friends and family that you know of Cuban descent, I have a special thing that I want to present. So just, you know, the question is, how can we help our Cuban brothers and sisters? Y bueno, just hold on for a second, because I think I can guide you in the right area, and it's a total effort of a partnership that I had to just validate to make sure, because como siempre, like always, we got to make sure we know where we're putting our money, where we're donating, to make sure it gets to the right places where it is most needed. So with that being said, hold on for a little bit, and I just want to really say thank you so much. Yo, for real, like this season 3 podcast that we've done on all platforms, you know, Apple, Google, Spotify, whatever that looks like for you, I want to say gracias, because we're only a couple episodes in, and it's crazy because of the fact that first of all, if you saw the post, I recently just posted, I'll put it right here, I recently posted that we had 1,000 downloads. This has been about a year and a few months, right? Pero, como siempre, it's about perseverance, it's siguiendo pa'lante, it's really having fun with this each and every day. And I wanted to kind of share in context of understanding, because I had the opportunity. Some people were asking me, hey, Noan, when it comes to leadership, when it comes to being a storyteller or whatever that looks like, they wanted to know some resources, and I wanted to give you guys one real quick. And that is this book right here. And this is Rare Leadership in the Workplace. I hope that you guys will consider it. This is by Marcus Warner, Jim Wadler. They wrote this book. Dude, super thin, as you can tell. Really thin book. It's a quick read. It is, look, I know I always read a lot of books, and I'm always suggesting a lot of different books, but you guys trust me on this. This is one, again, it's Rare Leadership in the Workplace, for uncommon habits, how to improve focus, engagement, productivity. One of the chapters that I want to share that I hope can tie this together in what's going on. And again, I want to pause here. This is not just Cuba, but even our Ethiopian people, even I think in South Africa, Johannesburg, even in Haiti. Like, there is a lot of unrest in many countries around the world, even here in our backyard in America. And it's okay, right, when it's good civil unrest of like trying to get word out there. And I will focus on Cuba just because, you know, they are our neighbors. And, you know, I had a friend of mine that reached out to me and asked me to really just kind of share my thoughts on how we can help. And this is the reason why I wanted to kind of share that story of Cuba. Really small. But I also know that there's many other countries that, again, are trying to make positive change, right? Positive outcomes para seguir adelante, to be able to go forward and bring the right change for the people of different countries around the world that are going through some moments. So, mi oraciones, my prayers for each and every one of those countries. Y, you know, que siguen, you know, la lucha, keep fighting the good fight, as they say. And I hope that you guys understand my approach to this. This is nothing political. This is just humanity. This is just trying to get the right resources and trying to build the next generation of leaders. We all know that everyone deals with problems. And one of the things that we need to understand, that when we think about being a leader, I know you're a leader. So when we think about being a leader, how do we remain relational? Again, my personal 3 pillars in life are be genuine, authentic, and relational. And what I love about this book in chapter 4, if I'm correct, it is chapter 4, is that they speak about remaining relational. That's the title of the chapter. And for me, the idea in this book by the authors, it speaks about like, what separates a mature leader from a sandbox leader. Again, I don't want to give too much away. I always say, get the book, support, and find out more. But if you guys do want to know more about my ideas behind what I think of this book, let me know. Like, shoot in the comments. I'll be more than happy to do like a review on the book. But it speaks about mature leader and a sandbox leader. So with that being said, what does that mean and how does that look like when we think about problems and remaining relational? Great question. One of the biggest ideas is, how do we keep relationships bigger than problems? Una vez más. How do we keep relationships bigger than problems? And I think this idea in this chapter of this book, when it talks about a mature leader, it's really cool because they go into this scientific concept of the brain, where it's this they call it like this dimmer switch mode, where it's either like you either switch it when you see joy, positivity, good things, or our brain, this is an actual scientific thing, actually can switch off when it sees problems or challenges that can actually turn off our joy. Very interesting. So I'm gonna read this because they say it better than me. All right. So here's what it says. Quote. It says relational circuits in the brain. So I wanted to read this because it talks about RCs. RCs is basically relational circuits, specifically in the brain. And it's quote, the fast track is home to the relational circuits in your brain. When these circuits are on, we are naturally remain relational and we act like ourselves. When these circuits are shut down, we lose access to action center, aka the captain, at the top of the fast track. As you may recall, the action center is a part of the brain that thinks itself as me. I should have set the alley-oop on this because this was spoken earlier in the chapter. My fault. We carry on. Quote, if we lose access to this part of the brain, we will handle emotions and relationships in a way that is not like us or relational. I'm gonna pause. So the idea later on in the chapter is, how do we control the switch, the dimmer switch? Well, this is great. We love desserts in our house, and I love because there's an actual acronym. And maybe for some of you professionals out there or some students in college or business school, you may have heard of this actual acronym. The acronym is C.A.K.E. Now, don't go the wrong route when I mean, yo, check out the C.A.K.E. Really, what I love about it is that C.A.K.E. is something that's super very interesting that we see. And the acronym is, and I'll put it here on the screen for you guys, is the following. Curiosity, appreciation, kindness, eye contact. Again, curiosity, appreciation, kindness, and eye contact. Now, why do these authors mention this whole concept of like understanding C.A.K.E.? That is a great question, Noan. Going back to the switch. If we want to switch on joy, being relational, having these great, solutions to the problems in whatever situation that you may be in a leadership concept, or maybe you're not a leader. I think you're a leader, but maybe you feel that you're not. I want you to understand, we need to focus on the problem of getting the RCs back on, right? Again, it's the circuits in our brain, like how do we get back to that joy? But then it's also understanding the acronym of C.A.K.E. So these are some solid questions, and this is the simplicity approach that I leave with you. And here are the questions. Is there anything in this conversation about which I have genuine curiosity? Is there anything about this person that I appreciate? And is there any way that I can show some kindness? And then you focus eye contact on the person again to re-engage and turn the switch on. I want to close with this. It's time to turn the switch on for all of our Cuban friends, hermanos y hermanas. And we need to be able to approach this curiosity, this appreciation, the kindness, and the eye contact to be able to be relational in the moment in crisis that Cuba is going through right now. Look, in the top of this video, this introduction, I presented, a mini djembe. And, percussions have always been, for me, I've always said that music is the universal language that everyone can understand. People that know me, I've always said that the backbone of any band is the rhythm section. Y en este caso, in this case, los percusiones, the percussions, that the beat, the Afro-Cuban, is something that really expresses itself in one of the most beautiful ways that I highly recommend you check out YouTube or Google just to be able to see the beauty of what this country brings when it comes to music. Y algo muy, muy lindo viendo esa música. So I want to be able to recommend that, hey, how can we support how can we help? Well, there's an actual website that I actually found out, and I hope that you guys can check it out. And the website is friendsofcaritascubana.org. And I'm going to read some of the things that this organization, and shout out to Ruslan, because Ruslan, he's a YouTuber, hip-hop artist. He actually posted this, and it allowed me to go, because I've been trying to find the right organization. Look, if you know of an organization that's making immediate impact in Cuba to be able to get the right resources out, and we know there's a ton of things out there that they need, yo, please let me know in order for me to be able to have the right contacts. I know a lot of missionaries, a lot of nonprofit organizations that are just willing and ready to what they can and, find out what they can't do. Let me know. But the beauty of what I love about this organization is really supporting senior citizens, supporting children with autism and other disabilities, and just health services, humanitarian efforts, but also understanding that they assist people, even people with AIDS, something that many of you know my story with my mom, that just kind of hits home for me. So I hope that you guys can check it out. Y como siempre, this is part of the cultura. Cultura is kind of, no, look, I never bring up kind of like a hot topic of what's going on and trending in the world, but this one kind of hit home. And I only say that because a few years back, you guys remember the big Hurricane Maria that happened in Puerto Rico, and that to me was something that it just hit so close to me, and I really wish I could have been there. I remember that my wife and I were planning to go that year to Puerto Rico from a trip that I was going on to Panama, and unfortunately it didn't happen. Just, I'm grateful for Angie Rose. Shout out to her, because they actually made a great effort, and we donated to their cause, and they went and had these really cool generators that you can charge up, and it was really cool to see that. So if you guys know of any organizations, let me know. But again, I just want to again say, yo, libertad para nuestros cubanos y cubanas, y como siempre es eso es Cuba. And more importantly, let's continue to fight the good fight. And I really hope that we continue la cultura in educating ourselves and bringing awareness, being on the solid roca de fe, of faith, and more importantly, just reaching out to you guys. What are the connections, the conexiones that we can do to help all these families and people in need? Muchas gracias. Thank you so much for supporting. You can check us out also at our website, fuelpasionpodcast.com. Y oye, que Dios te bendiga.